Hey, Dee here from D is for Digital. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to today's masterclass, which is about how you can craft impeccable content that drives conversions, that drives sales. So if you are using social media as your main point for lead generation, closing sales for your business, this is a great masterclass for you. We're going to be going through 10 important, I suppose, tips and techniques to make sure that the content you're putting out there is likely to convert your prospects into potential customers, or into your customers into customers who buy even more from you. Okay. So I do all of my sales through social media. I do it all organically. I don't spend any money on advertising, at least not at this point. I love doing organic because social media has so much reach. It has so much power. And if you put the right kind of content out there, you can absolutely drive sales into your business. So I'm going to cover quite quickly 10 different ways that you can do that. And then first, number one is to write content that is easily understandable. Now, this might sound super basic, but it's not. I think one of the mistakes that online entrepreneurs make is they presume that the people watching or reading or listening to their content understand their business as well as they do. And it's just not true. Our customers don't understand our businesses as well as we do. They don't know our products or services as well as we do. So often we use jargon, we use lingo that may be not easily understandable, insider words. And it's so important that we make sure that the content we put out there, particularly the written content, that a 3-year-old could read and understand, because a confused customer does not buy. Put that in your head. A confused customer does not buy. And it takes finessing to write something that is simple and easily understandable. And actually, I would spend a lot of time rewriting my social media content to simplify it. And because I can be quite wordy, I remove words out, I make it tighter, smaller, more impactful. I look for jargon that might not be easy to understand. I keep my sentences sort of short and direct. So the easier it is to understand, the more likely someone is to engage with you, particularly if you have a product that may be complex or technical or could cause confusion. Then there's more onus on you to make sure that the content that you're putting out there is simple and easy to understand. Very, very important. So make sure it's easy to understand. Number two is include a call to action. And I did a masterclass last week just on how to craft really good call to actions. And call to action is, what are you asking your customer to do in your social media content? Because if you want to increase your conversions, increase your sales in social media, then you need to be asking for the sale. You need to be telling the customer what they need to do, whether it's download now, click here, buy now, register here, schedule a call. That's your call to action. And the call to action needs to be super clear and understandable, just like the first point. That's why you will see calls to action. Call to actions are generally just 2 words. Keep it nice on a big red button, or in capitals if you have, so that it's very clear for the customer what you want them to do next. And the more simple and direct you make your call to action, the better. You might have it at the start of the post or the end of the post. It might be in your written comment. It might be in the visual. It might be someplace in the video. It doesn't matter. But please make sure you have a clear call to action that makes sense and that is easy to understand. Now, another thing that you can do if you already have a lot of social media content out there is to boost your most popular content. Now, why? So you'll obviously, some content outperforms others, and often you'll get that message from Facebook saying, this post is outperforming other posts by 80% or whatever. Now, those are the posts that you want to boost. You don't want to boost a post that hasn't had a lot of engagement, because maybe it's just not connecting with your customers. So why would you spend money on boosting something that isn't already connecting? You can learn from that post and see what you would need to change about it. Look at your posts that are having really high engagement, a lot of likes, a lot of shares, a lot of interaction, and boost those ones, because that will get more reach out of your fabulous content and draw more people to your profile and your feed, allowing you to then convert them. So keep it simple, make sure you have a great call to action, and boost your most popular content. Now, other things you can do, and the next few I use a lot, is number 4, offer social proof. Now, what's social proof? Social proof is very powerful, and it's when somebody else kind of says how good you are, or it alludes to the fact that you're successful at what you do, or you have credibility and authority in what you do. So, for example, social proof that I would use is the industry awards that I've won. Being published in Forbes would be social proof. Doing interviews with my customers would be social proof. Putting master classes out like this is social proof, because this all says, or to my potential customers, sort of, it sends a message that this woman knows what she's talking about, or at least seems to know what she's talking about. That's social proof, and it's quite powerful, because as the entrepreneur, you don't need to be out there going, I'm brilliant, I'm fantastic, buy my stuff, because no one really likes that. None of us like that. But you need to be able to have a social proof strategy. So what the content that you're putting out there, does it elevate you in the minds of your customer? Does it even indirectly tell them that you are credible, that you're to be trusted and to be liked, whatever's right for your business? But what's the social proof that you could use? And one of the social proof that I think is the most powerful is sharing results, because we're all about results, right? And I think people are getting more and more skeptical about buying things online, because either they've had bad experiences before, or they didn't get value for money. So I'm guilty of this too. We all become a little bit nervous about sharing our money, and we want to be really, really sure that if I'm going to spend money on you, I'm going to get what I expect. So sharing your customers' results on your social media is probably, for me, the most powerful way to drive conversion, because you have somebody else other than you talking about the results they got from working with you. Now, and I will do that in interview format, or I will ask my customers, can they give me a quote or a testimonial? It can be through reviews on your Facebook page, any kind of testimonial where your customer is talking about, this is what happened, I bought the product, this is what I like, this is how it changed my life, whatever it is. But very powerful for converting and turning potential customers into selling. Now, if you're starting out and you're going, I don't have any results yet, I can't do that. Well, then talk about previous results. Talk about things that you've achieved in your past, in your career, in other parts of your life. Because results can be in all shapes and forms. So you may not have won an award yet, but you might have won something whilst you were employed, or whatever you did last, or there's something that you are known to be really good at. And maybe it can be a friend or family member, even at this point, who you can use as social media content to talk about you. You will find something. You have achieved things in your life. Don't tell me that you haven't. You can share those results when you're starting out in order to build your authority and credibility until you have customers, and then you can share their results. Now, another thing you can do, I call this sharing transformation. Now, what do I mean? And I use this a lot as well. So depending on what you're selling, depending on what your product or service is, customers are interested in having a problem solved, and they're interested in getting to the transformation that comes with the solution. So for example, if you're selling weight loss products, the transformation is possibly a picture of someone, man or woman, with a really fit body, right? Or if you're selling time management skills or productivity skills, it might be someone with all their stuff together, they look organized, and maybe they're looking at the clock, or they're relaxed having a cup of coffee because all their work is done. We want to see the transformation. We want to see the goal on our social media. We want to see where we would like to see ourselves. So sharing content, I suppose it sells the dream in a way. It sells the end goal. Now, the way that I have done this in my own social media, and you can take a look at it, not recently, obviously, because I don't travel with COVID, but a lot of my customers have the dream of sort of being able to set up their online business so that they can work from anywhere, and have travel be part of their dreams and goals. They may be reviewing that right now. So a lot of my posts when I was traveling would be of the places I was traveling. So whether I was in Miami, or I was in the Caribbean, or I was in Bali, and that's selling the transformation, because I'm showing them that this is possible. This too can be you. Here I am with my laptop, sitting having my coffee or my glass of wine in a cafe in Bali. That is selling the transformation. It's selling the dream, and it's because people sort of go, oh, that's what I want. And that's a reaction you want from people. But you need to understand what is the transformation or the goal or the ideal outcome that your customer wants, and then put that into your social media feed. Now, it's not going to be every single post, right? And you can do a mixture of everything that I'm saying. But the quickest way to engage the eye of someone who's going through your feed is for them to see someone or something that represents where they want to be in their lives, in their careers, with their families, with their health, whatever it is. So, and I encourage you, if you're not sure of the transformation that you're selling or the transformation that your customers want, do a little bit of research. Ask questions like, what are their dreams, goals, and aspirations? Where would they like to see themselves in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? What are the things that they haven't achieved yet that they'd love to achieve? All of that is fabulous gold of content that you can use to put in your social media. Okay, so quick recap. So we have making sure that you write to be understood. Keep it simple, no jargon. Putting in your calls to action. Boosting the content that is top performing. Sharing results, your social proof, and the transformation. Now, a couple of others that I think are also worth mentioning, and the next one I talk about all the time, it's adding value. No one's going to buy from you if you're not adding value on your social media feed. If your content doesn't connect, if they don't get any sort of, if they don't learn from it, if they don't feel or connect to it, then it's not adding value, and they're certainly not going to buy from you. How do you add value? Well, it's giving your customers something that they need, whether it's information on a topic that they're interested in, or opinion on something that you know they feel strongly about. And it can be sharing the results and doing everything I've said before. Like for me, adding value on my feed is sharing my knowledge. It's sharing my story. It's telling people how I've set up my online business. It's sharing the results of my customers. It's bringing knowledge of how I do what I do and giving it for free like I do for these masterclasses. That's adding value. Now, obviously, if your business may not be educational in format, but you can still add value in lovely ways. Like making people feel good about themselves adds value, especially in with COVID-19. Making people feel good, engaging them emotionally, giving them interesting stories, telling your own story, giving them behind the scenes of what's going on with you or with others. That all adds value. And again, just like you need to know the transformation that your customer wants, you need to know what they believe is valuable. Because you can't give the right content if you don't know what your customers value. So if you're not sure yet on what your customers would find valuable in terms of content, go ask them. Another thing I recommend you to do, which I do a lot, use video. Use video on your social media. If you want to drive more sales and more conversions, video is the number one medium in terms of engagement with customers. It's much more interesting. They consume more video than they do sort of reading text or looking at images. So if you can pop a video in there every now and again, that will really help. Doing contests and competitions and quizzes and games, giving away freebies. Everybody loves a freebie, but all of those are sort of little things that get a little bit of a buzz going. Could you do a competition? You don't have to give away the world, and maybe it's giving away one of your products, or it's time with you, or it's whatever. But quizzes, competitions, games will drive a lot of engagement. And last but not least, but very important, this is the boring part, but it's important, it's doing analysis on your social media. So all of the social media platforms have reporting elements to them. You can see what are your most popular posts, who's viewing what, your engagement rates, all of that. And you want to be on top of that. You want to see which of your posts are doing the best and critique them. What is it about those posts that get so much engagement? Maybe because there was video used, or maybe because it was showing the transformation, or maybe because it was a story, or there's a particular theme that resonates with your customers. Because you won't get your social media feeds right the first time around. It's impossible. It's a journey. It takes time. And all of the things on this video, I sort of play with them, because some things work for a while and then they don't work, and then you need to change it up and mix things around. So I try to use as much as I can so that I can see what resonates most with my audience, and all of our audiences will be different. So it's okay to play with this. You don't have to do all of these. You may only need to do one. But the thing is, you need to watch and see what is resonating most with your customers, and then give them more of that. And that's it. quite a lot actually. But again, it's not hard. I think if you really pay attention to your social media, listening to your customers is everything. And when you're really, really short of inspiration and not sure, and maybe not even getting results, ask them, ask your customers, what are their goals, dreams, and aspirations? What could you offer them that would add value? What are they most interested in today? What are the problems that keep them awake at night? The more you know about your customers, the more tailored your social media content will be, and the more likely they're going to want to buy from you, which is everything, because it's all about converting into income for your business. So give it a go. If you're probably doing some of these already, maybe pick one that you haven't been doing. Try that. Let me know how it goes. Drop me some comments in below. If you have any questions about your social media content or other things that you've been trying, if you need any help, post the questions. I always love to hear from you. And in the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you again for tomorrow's masterclass.